Hello everybody. Welcome to episode 7 of the Hour of Design. My name is Ricardo. Thank you so much for joining me. As always, get in on the conversation. Tweet with hashtag live design. Use the live chat on YouTube or pound hash live design at RSC. Anything that you want to do, I am here and I will hear you out. This is part 2 of a special edition of Hour of Design. We are working with the Ride With Me app, a point-to-point, peer-to-peer transportation solution for youth. So the app helps youth coordinate with their friends transportation options. So if one youth is taking the bus, then both of them can take the bus together. The parent gets notified and delivers a lot of information about the youth attending these programs to service providers as well, like a museum or, I don't know, the zoo. Who knows? Something like that. Let's get started. As always, the team behind Ride With Me, you can find them right here. By the way, these notes are available on the description. I actually made sure this time, so they're there. Just in the description, click on the link, and then you will receive this thing that I am looking at right now. Ride With Me is open source, which is why I'm helping out, and I'm working with them to make a style guide, evolve, maintain a style guide with them, so that the designers on the team can start using it and can start really getting some nice looking mocks and nice looking designs out there. So last week we explored color explorations. We presented some mood boards done by Marina Malone, a designer on the team, and I didn't get a chance to show you the logo ideas by David Miller. I will show you that today. I think they're excellent, as I said in last episodes. If you don't know what I'm talking about, episode 6 is where we started this whole thing. So yeah, go to that one and then come back to this one because it's going to be recorded anyway. Insights. We did receive insights. So like we created the color palette. I'm going to show you to you right this second. My myriad of apps that I've opened. So there we go. These are the 2 mood boards that I have here. There we go. Yeah, you can see it. 2 mood boards that Marina created. From these colors and these feelings, these textures, these emotions, we were able to get these colors. So there we go. I named them Beacon Blue, Pimento. I like to name my colors. I don't know. I think it's very fun. It's like the funnest part of choosing colors. Beacon Blue, Pimento Red, Crosswalk Yellow. I like that one, my favorite. Pavement Gray, Fog Gray, and White Stripe. Crosswalk Yellow is actually weak. As you can see from last episode's show, we did derive from that color through a crosswalk. Sorry, give me a second. I thought I received a message, but I did not. Okay. So we also, I did this very, very hastily last time as the show was ending, but we created some like tint exploration as well. All these were given to the Ride With Me team, as well as what I did was, we were sort of torn on the blue, red, or blue, yellow comparison here and what we wanted to do with it. So what I did, I made these 2 mocks and I presented that to the team. The team took it to, showed it, had an audience, and it was actually really, really insightful what we found out. Found out that adults prefer the yellow button 6-2, whereas kids prefer the red button 12-6. That's like 50%, like do you see like double more of kids prefer red button versus yellow, but adults prefer yellow button actually more than the red. So, oh man. So what we could do here, and Robert is saying the same thing, I thought it already, is we could have a youth view and an adult or parent view. The youth view could be red, the parent or guardian view could be yellow, and these colors could separate the context of the app, right? That's not a bad idea at all. It would be something that, we will keep the colors, but it would be something that we would need to explore further in the iterations and to see if the UX really would make sense between that yellow and the red sometimes when it's so like, a color for each type of view, usually the colors are very contrasting. They're not so complementary. Like, yellow and red are very similar, so people might get confused. If we were to do yellow and black, there you go, yellow and black, then obviously that's a big contrast. So you know that you're in parent view, garden view, and then you're in youth view, things like that. But we'll keep it. However, it was very nice to use your test this. The Write With Me team was amazing at having an audience for us to test this. This is what design is about, right? It's about putting it in front of people's faces and getting their gut reactions, getting to see how they communicate and they feel when this color is presented to them, or any set of colors are presented to them. So this is. This design. The design is actually not. I didn't intend to make it so nice, but as a designer, I just sort of keep on going with it. Let's move away from colors. So that was what we did last time. Today we're going to work on type explorations and button explorations. We're 6 minutes in, which is perfect. Let's get right to it. Okay. Now, I actually last time in episode 6. Those were the famous last words. I said, I think I said something like, no problem, type will take us like 2 seconds. And that was like a huge mistake from my part. I want to come into the show with some knowledge. Like I have some knowledge in my head, but I should want to prepare for this and prepare for like talking about type or talking about color, talking about anything that on annotating your designs. I did one a few weeks back about annotating your designs using Sketch, which is what I'm using right now. So I like to prepare, and obviously I just it's been a while since I've been in school, and I forgot how complex type is. It is ridiculous. Oh man. So maybe I will do like an hour design just type alone, so that we can understand ligatures and like X height and like cap height and descenders, ascenders and stuff like that. We won't really talk about that, but what we will talk about is the relationship between fonts, and I think that's very important. A lot of people struggle with pairing fonts. That's Google that. Pairing a font or like combining fonts. It's hard. It is very, very hard even for an experienced designer or an experienced typographer, letter. It is hard to combine fonts. But once you understand the relationship with fonts, you're able to make these decisions a little bit better. So the first one that I want to talk to you about is one approach that we could do with the Write With Me text, and that's more like complementary. I'm going to call it, right? Complementary. There we go. Complementary. The complementary, this principle is really, it relies on the familiar, right? It relies on family. It is if you take two persons, and they're exactly alike, it's nice, that there's a pattern there. They speak the same language, they have the same colloquialisms, they like the same movies. So it's very complementary, it's very familiar. It makes you feel at home. The one disadvantage to that is that it might not be as romantic. Typography is always seen as a topic of passion. It might not be as romantic. The combination of these fonts might not seem so a very nice contrast. That's the one drawback to this. So let's take a look at one complementary pairing that we could do. I'm mostly deriving these fonts from Google fonts. These are open source fonts, so it would be perfect for an open source project such as Write With Me. That's why that's our confines, and that's our constraint is Google fonts. One of them would be Brie, and then open source. There we go. But this needs some work. I'll tell you why later. But this is a complementary font, right? This one is using, it's called Brie, and this one is using Allura. Very nice complementary font. It is nice. There's a slab serif. It's called slab serif there. So it complements well. As you can see that both fonts really feel the same. An inexperienced person could say, hey, listen, aren't these two the same, except this one is just bold and this one isn't? I would actually agree with you there, but start looking closely. Look at the E, for example. Look at how the E is made out of all the curves. Look at this E. This E is not like, this is a sort of like a very, very normal serif font. This is slab serif, so it varies a little bit. That's how you start noticing. Look at the R. Look at this little, I love these random drops. But this one doesn't. This one has a, full serif there. So that's how it changes, and that's how you know that this is not really the same font family. It is something different. However, they are complementary. Okay, let's move on, and I'm going to show you another pair. This pair, it would be sort of like embracing the other, in which two fonts are different, but they're so different that they actually start embracing each other. Each of their flaws, so to speak, become harmonious to each other, and it's very nice when you find that. Is when opposites attract in fonts, right? And you can make this relationship very exciting by using these types of like we're very crazy opposing fonts. So one of them would be this is another font. By the way, this show has a lot of links that I will show you. Actually, they're at the bottom of the page. Maybe if you want to go to it now, that's fine, as long as I don't lose you. Oswald is another one, a very popular one in Google Fonts. Vast Shadow, let's do it. Vast Shadow. Whoa. And I know you're thinking. I know what you are thinking. I'm thinking the same. Oswald. So give me a second. Oh, by the way, the reason why these weren't so good is because we have to work always with some. This is more of a display font with some kerning and some leading. So kerning is the space between these characters. So look, I'm making this very squishy. This would be terrible. Do not do this. But I'm trying to make a point. So what I want to do is just make it work. And if this was like print, or if you really wanted to work on it, you could do kerning in between just specific letters. Oh, sorry, I need to select H and A. So for example, between H and A, there you go. It's just modifying the H and the A. So there we go. W and E is a big one, because it's the W extends and then the E sort of it's like alone. So this is embracing the other. Both of them are heavy fonts, but one is very narrow. The other one is extremely wide. It's like it's as if someone took the font and just stretched it out like Play-Doh. Oswald is very compact, right? It's like nice. It's tidy. Vast Shadow isn't. It even has this double border behind it. This could be an example of embracing the other. Now, this I would never use in an interface, but I would do in a poster maybe that I would be creating. Why not? I want to show you one more, and I consider this I don't know, what do I consider? I guess it's complementary plus or something. What is complementary plus? But this is coming to my head, so let's go for it. Complementary plus, which is, it's like a take on the first one, and the complementary, but a little bit more. And this is when we can use different weights to get a dramatic effect. So let's do. This is a great time for me to show you Google Fonts, as I have no idea which font to choose. Google Fonts. The team is suggesting Windings, but they're trolling me. They are trolling. I don't even have it. Sorry, folks. I don't even have it because it's so terrible. Okay, so sorry. Google Fonts. So this is Google Fonts, google.com/fonts. You will receive everything here. By the way, one thing that took me a while to figure out, I don't know why, is that you can view these These fonts are different things. You can view them as a word, you can view them as a sentence, as a paragraph, important, or as poster. So this is a good one. You know what? I'm going to do Roboto, because I think Roboto has a lot of different, a lot of font weights. That's what we're looking for. We're looking for a lot of font weights. So can I double click or help me do something? Look at this. Roboto has thin, italic, light italic, normal, medium, bold, ultra bold. So let's go for that one. And I will show you a nice example of complementary plus. Roboto. And then beep. Also Roboto, but take a look at this. Roboto. I'm going to remove this kerning, make it normal. Also Roboto. So this is I mean, not bad, but not awesome. So what about making it bold? What about making this one light? Could it work? Hey, maybe it could work. But you see what I mean? Like, that's why a lot of typographers, letterers choose a font that has a lot of font weights. This is, believe it or not, this is small. This is a small sample. Usually font families are, for example, but they're usually like $400, so it's a bad idea to start going there. But they will have like 16, 67, 70 different types of font weights that you could use. Book, regular 100, regular 200, 300, 400, and it go up and up and up. And at one point it starts looking like the exact same font, but it isn't. And it is actually, once you start working with type, it is extremely important to. Oh, look at this one, Fira. I was gonna use Fira. So Fira Sans has book 8 extra light, 4 hair light, medium, regular 2 ultra light, book italic, 8 italic extra light, 4 hair italic light, medium, and so on and so on. So a lot. And again, it's not uncommon to see 50 plus. It really is. So look at all these that we have. Semi-bold. I like Fira better. Maybe I just looked at it so much over the months that I've been using this font. Again, complementary plus, not too bad. So with these three, they're not principles, but with these three thoughts in mind, let's start carving out some potential impact. Do I have impact? I do have impact. Okay. Impact. Do I have any cursive fonts? Marina, the designer on the team, has suggested impact. Impact is not bad. I like impact. The thing with, by the way, as I'm talking about this, the one thing with fonts is that, again, same as colors. Remember when we did the colors last week? We had to talk about the context of these fonts. So like this font, I told you that this font I would never use in an interface. I would only use in a poster and in marketing material, things like that, right? So that is one thing that we need to keep in mind very well. So these fonts that I'm about to show you came to my mind, almost immediately, just as I started thinking, like over the past month since we started, Robert and I started talking about collaborating on this project. So one of them is AW Conqueror Carp. This one does have inline or whatever. There's a carved one. There's this one is not a Google Fonts, so I'm cheating. But it is available, and it is it's free, I believe, if I'm not mistaken. It is, because I've never paid for a font. Confession. I confess to the internet. Never paid for a font. Always use open source fonts or free fonts as they become available. I use this app called Little Ipsum. Can you see that? I don't know if you can see it. Little Ipsum is great because it allows you to just get some very quick lorem ipsums. So then I go here, I paste, and then boom. If I make it fixed, and I'll just make the width weird. There it is. Okay, sorry. Some stuff happened with Slack, but I think it's solved. So AW Conquer, we have AW Sans here. I don't know. I like it myself. Another example that we could do. This is another thing that I was looking at. This is a Google font, and this might be crazy. This might be crazy. This one called Megram. Not too bad, Megram. I like this one for Write With Me because, Write With Me. Oh, there is uppercase and lowercase. So we can do it all uppercase. Let's see how it looks. Me. Now I don't like it anymore. So I used to like it for this project, but now I don't. What I was gonna say is that the reason why I like it is because the lines reminded me of like the subway lines, or like transit lines. You know what I'm saying? I don't know if you know what I'm saying. Maybe I just impart meaning on these things. Another one, and this is another silly one, but oh no, this is not the silly one. Correct. Ride With Me, maybe, or all caps also works. The good thing about this one is that it is all caps already. There is no lower caps. Cool. Not bad. Now, I know that I'm showing you all these. The only reason I'm showing you all these is because so you can see like there is so much, right? So many combinations. So many combinations that we could do. But I'm honestly quite in love with the Cubano. You know, Cubano was already selected, and it was selected by David Miller, the designer that worked on the graphics that I will show you very, very soon. So I personally like Cubano very, 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 like very much. I would do that one for sure. No spaces, no spaces. Oh boy. See, that's it. So, is it like that? Yep. So Write With Me has no spaces. Everyone that is looking at this, and that is my bad. So you know what? It has to be uppercase, I would say. No, this is there is no space here. So here we would have to play with the kerning. Right, with the spaces between this, so to make it like tighter, to make it work a little bit better. Okay. Oops, forgot this one. Write With Me. Okay. Now, I really like Cubano for the title for like something like this, for example. Right, Write With Me. That would be like in font Cubano, but we still need an interface font. We still need one. So I will provide you with some options. So we have this great one. Should I show you or should I not? Cool. So I will show you something else. There we go. So there's this one. Monster is pretty good. It is a very nice font. I'm going to add it to the collection just so that we have it. Another great one, and this is, by the way, all this knowledge is just because I worked with these fonts before, is Open Sans. It's also a very, very, very good one, very popular one as well for UI design. We have this one. I highly think is going to be a winner myself. So that's my bias. I'm rooting for Nunito. The reason why I love Nunito is because of the very rounded edges that it has. It's very playful. It's friendly. It's great for kids. We do not want, by the way, we like any serif. Give me serif. Bree is not that bad because it's serif, but like Droid serif is pretty blah. Like a kid won't like to see that, you know. That's no. Let's not do that. So that's a context that we're working with, right? Another one is Oxygen is a good one. Add it to the collection. Source Sans Pro is a good one. I've worked with Source Code Pro before, so I knew that Source Sans Pro was available. Can I not add it? remove. Oh no, sorry, it is part of the collection already. So I'm adding these to the collection, and we're going to review them. We're going to play with them, and by like 340, we'll have something and we'll stick with it, and then I'll move on to buttons, which is a little bit nicer to take a look at than just fonts, especially if you're not super interested in fonts. Last two is Ubuntu add to collection. I'm not so sure about that one because it's more aggressive, and I don't know if we want to do aggressive. And Roboto, which is Google's go-to font in Android. So if you have an Android device, it uses Roboto. Roboto Condense is actually more friendlier, I find. Anyway, but Roboto is nice because it's sans serif. It's again very, very smooth corners. Nothing too crazy. What about this? Okay, choose. Nope, review. Nice. Gonna hide this for a second. There we go. So we have Montserrat, OpenSense, Numido, Oxygen, Sources Pro, Ubuntu, Roboto. These are all extremely good pairs. And what I think we're going to do, we're going to go for this one. For this approach, we're going to go for the complementary approach. The reason why we're going to go for the complementary approach is that because it is great for interfaces. We don't want something that's like just jars your eye every single time you see it. The thing with interfaces and typography within interfaces is that you are seeing the font over and over and over and over again. It's not a poster that you see on the street that needs to catch your eye. Boom. Send you the message, you need to receive the message and then move forward, right? It's not something like that. What we need to do is, not tire the user out. The way that we do that is with this complementary approach. Now, we can definitely do a complementary plus in which we're using all these, we're using the weights capability, the font's capabilities in terms of their weights, right? If the font has a lot of weights, etc. So, I'm going to do heading. I'm going to remove this, group this, duplicate, and move on. Boop, boop. There we go. So I have 4. Maybe we'll do more than 4, but I don't know. So this is more like this typography pair is more for marketing sites, for example, marketing sites such as the one that I've shown you here. This site, but for interface sites, it becomes a little bit different. Let me see my message. Give me a second. No, nothing. It's nothing. Okay, so now that we have that under our belts, this is like, by the way, the hardest thing, and this is why I prepared. I cannot do this in an hour. I mean, please show me any designer that can do this in an hour, and I need to have a coffee with that person because choosing fonts is very hard, and I think I didn't speak to its full challenge last week because I was so into colors. Fonts are really hard. So we have this. Let's now play with it. This is something that I haven't done, is playing with these two fonts together. Now, I'm going to make this Montserrat. I don't have Montserrat. Are you kidding me? It's okay because I can actually show you. Yeah, I don't have it. I can show you how to delete it, how to get it, but it's okay. Let's just move on. No. Sketch quit on me? My goodness. It's actually not a big deal. There we go. We're back. So, I remember back in like my Photoshop days, if it quit on you, like it was terrible. You would cry. Go to a corner and cry. Oxygen is the first one, and the second one that we're going to do maybe Source Sans Pro with Oxygen, and they're very nicely complementary, so let's do that. Source Sans Pro. I could do up a level here because for interface fonts we want something that is like that you can actually look at, you know. So in this one, actually, Oxygen I can maybe do bold. Maybe that's a little bit too much. Yeah, for interface. Remember, this is interface, right? It's like this will show here. Will show in these things. Not a member, create an account, forgot your password, email address, things like that. The welcome to, write with me, it's nice because it's Kuban, or like that's like the one splash of difference that we have there. So that's very, very nice that we have there. That we have that. I'm gonna call it title, just to be able to have no descenders on that, so that it looks better. A little trick that I'm doing. Okay, now Roboto is next. Roboto looks good with everything, actually, except for Ubuntu. It wouldn't look good with Ubuntu. It's like the edges of Ubuntu would clash with Robato's like roundness. But one good thing that it would go with would probably be Nuneato. Roboto is piano. Okay, Nuneato, no, Roboto, and then Nuneato here. By the way, and then we're gonna flip him as well. Okay, we got 10 minutes. Oh, that's nice. That's not bad at all. I would love to see Nuneato on top, though. Oh, so good. And Roboto at the bottom. And just to compare, title, to, like apples with apples here, title. Very nice. So the good thing about Roboto not light, let's do regular. There you go. See how well, like, see how there we go. See how complementary these two fonts are, especially when Nuneato's at the top and Roboto's at the bottom. Like, man, like it really makes you feel something there. The one thing with here is that this is good. This is good, by the way. This is perfect. The one thing though is that I feel like this would be less for kids, and this would be better for kids / youth. Sorry. You see what I mean? Like, it's just more friendly. It's more approachable. It's a font that you want to sort of keep reading. The one disadvantage to Nuneato is that we would always have to be like modifying their its kerning a little bit. We can do that in code very easily. That's no problem. But we would, as a designer, you have to let the developer know. If you're a developer yourself and design, then cool. Just keep in mind that letter spacing is the one CSS attribute that we want to be modifying in order to sort of like get this a little bit better. Now, Robert is mentioning. I'm just catching up here. Robert is mentioning that we need to do A/B tests again, for sure. I would definitely, like, let's do 3 different versions and we'll A/B test these, and we'll do the same with colors. Like, that's the one amazing thing about Write With Me, is that they have an audience and they're able to test at their heart's content. That's awesome. I mean, as a designer, you relish those opportunities, really. That was too much. There, sorry. Okay, so another one that we could do is the one that Roboto doesn't work well with, which would be Ubuntu. Make it Ubuntu. I don't think this is going to be a good one, but let's play with it. Yeah, see? Now it looks like edgy. It looks like nice and energetic. That might be a good point towards this one. Sure. So right now this is at AW Concord Carved. What I think we should do is, and by the way, Montserrat is still missing. I will download it with you together, with all of us. Sorry. We need to do Ubuntu with probably Source Sans. Oh, wow. Is Source Sans Pro, not Source Code Pro, and not light, but we want regular because this would be like more interfacey. Not bad at all. Source, just very quickly, I wonder how Roboto Source Sans Pro would look. Don't think, not too bad. Okay, I'm gonna do it before and after, like the eye doctor. So this is Roboto with Nuneato, and oh man, this is Roboto with Nuneato, and now I'm gonna do Roboto with Nuneato, and now I'm gonna do Open Sans with Nuneato. There's a difference. I think it'll be hard to if we A/B test this, it'll be hard for people to really get that very slight difference. So it might not be worth it. So Source Sans Pro, there we go. Sorry, and we get set regular. There we go. So now we have one. Oxygen and Source Sans Pro. We have Roboto at the top and Nunito at the bottom. We have Nunito at the top, oh, I'm sorry, and Roboto at the bottom, perfect, yep. And now we have Ubuntu, and this is Source Sans Pro. Ooh, not too bad. I am leaning towards either, yeah, see, again, it got me again for some reason, sorry. There you go, Source Sans Pro I think is better than Roboto at the bottom. I think it is. I think it is because Roboto is very tight, you know. So okay, people wish. The Ride With Me team seems happy with Roboto from what I'm looking here. But sorry, 1 second. It was Roboto, right? Roboto. So the thing with Roboto, especially with Nunito at the top, is that they're very squished almost. So we want something that could be a little bit more easier to read, like more breathability on the font, especially when we start putting this font in places like this, for example, and not a member, things like that. So so there you go. So yeah, I mean, Roboto is on the right here, and then Source Sans Pro is on the left. You're gonna see a difference, and the difference is just that the kerning or the spacing between each letter is a little bit more on the left-hand side here than on the right-hand side, especially with a copy. So take a look at that. Now, over on Google Fonts side of things, I do not have Montserrat downloaded. I thought I did, so let's, oh boy, what is this giving me? Oh, please tell me I can download it. I can. It's always so hard. Honestly, this is the one terrible thing with Google's interface is that it's so hard to download a font. Like, it's just so, maybe they make it hard. Now that I'm thinking about it, maybe they make it hard. Maybe, I don't know. So we are going to add it to the collection. Use. There we go. So we have normal and bold for this type of font. Over here on the right hand side, no one knows this. No one seems to see this because I certainly didn't. But if we click on this one, this icon here, it says download the font families in your collection as a zip file. We click on zip file, and then we get a save file. I'm going to click here. I'm going to go to the file itself, and there it is, Montserrat. Boom. And I'm going to open both of them. I'm going to click on here, install font, and then that's it. It's done. It's in my system now. So close this for now, close this, and now let's try it out. Nice. So it is there. What about Montserrat and Open Sans? Montserrat and Open Sans works well. So we have 5 different options here. And the last one, no, I don't think I want to do another one. I think, 6. I counted 5. I think 6 is good. Well, with one being a very small variation, these two are very small iterations, but it could be seen. Now, here is does the color design and perfect have these fonts? Oh, okay, cool. Sorry, I got a thing on. Good question. Of course, I had to misspell that on my YouTube comment. Everyone can see that now. So, quick question from Slack: does the color/design of the app affect how these fonts are perceived? Yes, in my experience, not terribly. So as long as the font has a very nice font weight. So for example, if I were to do like this and put it with like, you know, in this color, the font would be like maybe like a light gray. Let's take a look at this. Oh, that's terrible, right? Obviously. So that is when color starts really affecting. Emotionally though, like from an emotional perspective and from a cognitive perspective, I haven't seen really any any wild changes, like, you know, maybe like one font is seen as energetic in one color and then as aggressive or as like moody in the other. No, I haven't seen that dichotomy as I see with colors. For example, if you pair, you know, color A with color B, they're seen as lovely, but color A with color C is like, oh my god, this is hideous. Gives me like anxiety attacks. No, nothing like that with fonts. Not that I've seen, and not that I've witnessed myself in user tests or asking people around for their feedback. Wow, we've done a lot, haven't we? Okay, it is 3:40, so I did mention that I would leave this, and I will, but I do want to say so I'm going to hand this to the team. I want this one. I want this one. And I want this one to win. I'm rooting for these three. So I think these three would be a very fine contenders. These are, you know, nice runner-ups in my mind. So I think it's worthy of asking, but I have a feeling that, especially for youth, there you go. Especially for youth, I would say that Nunito wins over Montserrat, but Montserrat is very nice, and it's very legible. This one has the opportunity to be seen as not terribly legible, and the kerning is honestly weird. I mean, you might not see it, but it's just not good. It's too good. So there you go. Those are the three that we're going to work with from now on. I'll put it here just so you know. I will put a heading, I'll put a body treatment and even a smaller body treatment. So in this case, this would be like Nunito, and then this would be the Open Sans or Roboto, whatever we chose. And this would be, again, Open Sans or Roboto, but just smaller. So that's how we're starting to build our style guide. Okay, so these three. Wow. Well, I'm happy we have pairings. Choosing one font is hard. Try choosing two fonts and them having to complement each other. It's no easy task, but we got it done. So, on to buttons. Buttons are super fun. I have a lot of fun doing them, and I mean, we already have a button treatment actually at the bottom, as I showed you. But I don't know. Let's keep searching. Let's keep trying something. So I have this artboard. I'm just going to put it here just because I need access to the colors quickly. And Roboto option, yeah. Roboto as header. We will include another option, by the way. I'm just waiting to hear on which option it would be. You know what, let me just move here. Okay, so buttons. The thing about button is we need to start designing a little bit of a different buttons. Okay, we need to start thinking about action items. So we call these call to actions, and then we also need to talk about, you know, secondary buttons. There we go, secondary buttons. So these are the two types of buttons that we need to start thinking about, and we need to start addressing in our button exploration. So I'm going to make this gray so that it doesn't stand out too much, and I should also probably make this a little bit smaller. And then I should make this, boop, there you go. That's a lot better, especially for our work that we're going to do. Now, let's start. I mean, when I start designing buttons, I start with this, and a nice height, actually a nice height is 55. I usually like to do like a 60 just because, you know, especially for apps, we want stuff to be a little bit bigger. So this is 1. And this is how it will start. I will start with some gray boxes here, and the gray boxes will actually ease the tension of having a white canvas in front of you. I spoke about this ever since like the first episode, and the first episode was, you know, it was about conquering the empty canvas syndrome that every single designer gets. Right? Every single designer, it's like writing a paper back in college or university or high school. you're staring at a white, Word doc, and you have no idea what you're gonna do. So, oh man, that's terrible, right? That is the worst. So, even if it is to just help us a little bit, that's what I do to push myself forward a little bit. So we have 3 things. Now I'm going to do an easy one here. I'm going to do easy one. This is what I usually start off with. I will make the, oh no, sorry. Let's go with red. Let's go with red just because, right now at least our feedback tells us that red is seen as the nicer one of the 2. Call to action. I will make this font. I will actually make it all caps. I have a preference for all caps buttons myself. We will try both of them if time allows, however. What I'm mostly interested, though, is I'm mostly interested in getting the shape of the button right. That is what I'm really, really interested in. What font is this? 20 is fine. What font is this again? Montserrat. Oh, Montserrat, you're looking nice. Look at that. That's beautiful, isn't it? Like, that's energetic. That's working. Damn, I like that. Okay, easy. We got one button done, people. We did it. Let's move on and let's actually start playing with it. So a good thing about buttons is that buttons have a lot of properties that we can start modifying. We can start modifying their borders. I'm gonna make this border. I'm just gonna make the brightness in this slider. Take a look at here. I'm gonna make the brightness darker. Now, I don't want to do something like this. That's not a good idea because it's just so harsh on the eye. I want to make it stand out from the container, from its background, but I also want to, make it smooth transition. So what we do, we go from our original color, which is this, and we just start moving down a little bit. And you know what? That's not bad. It's beautiful. It's what we need. We can make it thicker if we like. That's an aesthetic decision, or we can make it thin. I will make it thick, actually. I usually don't do this, but I will go with 2 pixel because it works not bad. Another one that we could do is, instead of borders, what we could start modifying is its shadow property. So what we can do is, I'm going to make this red, and we have these properties that we can modify. We can modify the shadow's x-axis. We can modify its shadow's y-axis as well as its blur. So that's what we can do. We can modify these 3 things. And I'm getting distracted by people joking on Slack. There you go. So look at this. I'm going to make something happen here. And you see this actually quite often in design nowadays. This sort of seems like a trend. There we go, like a boop. What is really cool about this is on the pressed state. Oh man, we haven't started talking about pressed states. Those are like the funnest things about buttons. On the pressed state, what we could do is hold a second, take a look at that. Like we could do, we could actually make it look pressed by adding an inset or inner shadow, depending on what platform we use. I think Photoshop calls it an inset shadow, if I'm not mistaken. It might not. I don't know. I haven't used it in a while. So that was too much, but you start getting what I mean. Nice, eh? So, oops. There you go. So this button is a raise button at the top, and then when you tap it, if this is a mobile app, like people will tap on it. Well, we want that visceral feeling of you tapping. That's feedback. That's a micro interaction. That's very important for us. Something that I'm very passionate about. So that would be another idea, right? So we have these 3 different options, and I'm going to continue. Like that's beautiful. That's a beautiful thing about buttons, that we can, like, honestly, we can go all day with buttons, all day. So we will, and you know what? I'm really digging this. If we're gonna go over time, I think we will, just so we have a good one. So different, but the same. We have this, we have that. border. We have border at the bottom, no border anywhere else, and nicely depressed states. We have 3 different versions with 1 variation of, which is the 4th one that we have. Now let's continue. Let's move on, and I'm going to go here, and this time I'm going to make it yellow, just so we can start playing with colors. Like we can make it just it's not like a screen of red essentially for you, as you see this. These are not needed anymore. See? Boom. Crisis achieved. And, I mean, we didn't achieve the crisis. We brought ourselves down from the crisis. Let's do this. I'm just ideating here on what to do, but you know what would be really, really cool? There is this one library. It's called Ionicons, and there's Font Awesome as well. You could try out Font Awesome. Font Awesome, they're just it's a font, icon font essentially. So I want to look for the right. I don't think this will work because I'm trying to find a very, very, very. Maybe this one will work. I have an idea, and once I have an idea, then we need to, we need to run with it. Ionicon. So I'm making this font. There you go. See, now we have this. I'm gonna make this white. But remember that I said like to not use full white. I forgot about that. I'm so sorry. Our call to actions could be this. I'm gonna do another cool thing. I'll show you here. So take a look at this. I'm going to grab my pen, and I'm going to start. No, hello, B. I'm going to grab my pen or my vector tool, and for some reason this is not working. I'm going to grab my pen one last time. There we go. And just simple shapes here. It doesn't matter because take a look at this. I'm going to add a fill. Yep. Cool. Now I'm going to modify these points. Anything that I'm doing with Sketch, you can do with code, by the way. So we're not making something that is impossible to achieve. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to put this over here on the left-hand side. You see there's a path here. Okay. So I'm going to move this path inside of the folder called Rectangle 81. That's okay, but what I'm going to do, I'm going to say right-click on this, and I'm going to say Use as Mask. And now, as you can see, what happened here was that it masked it. This color is obviously not what we want to go for. We want to go for this, and I'll take a look. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Now this might not be perfect, but that's why this is an iteration. That's why this is ideation, because we're just playing with it. If a writes. So I just need to make sure that you can see this. And hold on, can you? Yeah, you can. Okay, so I have this nice cool thing. This is called Alfred. It allows me to do very fast things very fast. So let's see, what right things do they have? They have an angle double right, they have an angle right, they also have an arrow, but see how it's fat? I do not want that fatness, right? I want it like very minimal. I don't think we're going to find it unless I spend some time sourcing this and start finding it, but I wanted like a nice small one that was very, very, but it's okay, you know what, this one fits the bill for now. But that's one that we could do. Crazy. I don't like this anymore. I want to go for more saturation then. There we go. That's a little bit better. There we go. So it was just too dark. I needed more saturation, and then so there'd be more yellow instead of more like weird mustard color. That is a little bit better. Okay, let's continue though. I'm not going to duplicate this one just because it's a bit more complex. I want to go for something that is more easy to start working with, like this one that we see right here. There we go. Well, we haven't even touched the button itself. You know what I'm saying? Like we've added stuff. We've added borders. We've added shadow. We've added this like very nice jagged edge, and I can see this animating extremely better. Well, extremely good. I just got a message to replicate this on red, and I think it's a very worthwhile experiment right now. Whoops. I don't know why this is weird things happen. Okay, and what about this? There we go. Increase its saturation. Increase its opacity. That might have been too much. Contraction. Oh, sorry. There we go. That red is not right, is it? It is not. Let's do it again. Sorry, so I just got a message from the Slack team. I'm gonna put him here. Hey everyone. So yeah, we can definitely use the slash. So what Robert is saying is, so take a look at, and I'm in ideation, so I hadn't realized the slash, the forward slash in Write With Me. We can use that as a motif, and what he means is that we can use it as a recurring theme over and over in our design, and that actually makes a lot of sense because take a look at here. I don't know if you can see this, but there. Oh shoot! There you go. I don't know if you can see this, but there are bands of color here. You can very clearly see it right there. There's a band of blue here. So there is that repetition already happening. That is honestly, that is a principle in design, which is called repetition. And I think it wouldn't be a bad idea at all. I do not know how I saw it, but I'm happy to have this team behind me. So something like that. Again, the edge is not 100%, but not bad. Good. Yeah, good suggestion. Wow. Okay, sorry, let's move on. So we haven't actually modified the button itself. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to start doing that. The radius over here is set to 0. I'm going to make it set to 4. 4 is a nice one. And take a look at that. Now that modifies our... sorry. There we go. That modifies, and I just undid everything. There we go. That just modifies the corners, and the corners are important. The reason why they're important is because maybe we want something that is not seen as so aggressive, right? So in your face, and these sharp corners are seen as something that is nice and very. But sometimes this is really all you need, is a very nice looking button, chunky looking. However, I'm going to continue. I'm gonna keep doing some explorations on this. That's one. And by the time I finish, and when I give this to the team, I'll probably make like every single button with its own color, like every single, red and yellow this, red and yellow that, red and yellow this, so as to have a very nice, ooh, I like that. I'm gonna also add shadow. It's a Wednesday, why not? Let's go crazy. I don't necessarily love the shadow at the bottom, but it's okay. The purpose of ideation, by the way, is to like release judgment of yourself. Like, just if you do something, it turns out to be absolutely terrible. That's okay. Like, that's why we were doing this, is to work out those kinks in our brains. The what if this would work? Now I'm going to do gradients. Gradients are not so hot right now. You know, like it's more like of a flat UI trend, and those are the buttons that I've been showing you so far. But it's not bad to you know, like, well, so what? You know, so what if that is the trend? That doesn't really matter. Okay, so take a look at that. Ooh, very nice. See, I don't know why the gradient went away. I think people were using the gradient very dramatically. And really all you need is very subtle, very subtle, extremely subtle gradients in order to achieve the desired effect. Okay, cool. Okay, cool. So everyone seems to like the /, and I think that's actually quite a good suggestion. Who suggested that? Jennifer Bundy. Jennifer Bundy, I think, was the first one that suggested that. So good job, Jen. I like this button a lot, actually, so much that it bears an exploration in red as well. Hey, that's like a nice little color. So, let's see. I need to make this a little bit brighter, and like I said, I'm just gonna play with it just a touch. Red is always a bit hard to work with, unfortunately, especially when making these modifications. But nope, that did not work out. Abort. There we go. Aborted. We can start again. No, we can't. There we go. We can start now. We can start again. So let me just move. Okay, so that seems to be. Obviously, the border needs to change, and we need to make this this border red, but darken it up a little bit. There you go. That's what really makes the gradient shine, by the way. What we can also do is we can also add a inner shadow here. So this is another a very nice UI, not a trick, but a UI practice with these buttons. Again, all this you can do in code. Inner shadows here. If we add a white inner shadow, see that? See what happened here? So sorry if it's loud, by the way. People are playing ping pong, and there you go. So I'm going to turn it off and on so you can see the difference. Off, on, off, on. You can see now the button is raised. Now like the button is like really, like, it's coming at us almost in a nice way. It's not attacking us like a T-Rex or anything. Like, it's coming at us very nicely. So I'm also going to add it here. Whoops. I'm also going to add this here. And again, because this is red, it's a little bit hard to work with, but there we go. Nice. Very nice buttons, if I do say so myself. Very nice iterations. I liked this one just for its ingenuity. I hadn't really designed a buttons like this in the past, so it would be very nice to see this in action. Get it? Call to action. Boom. Did it. Sorry, another, and I am sorry that I'm a little bit past my time. This usually doesn't happen, but take a look at this. We could also do something like this. We could also do, buttons are so fun. You can keep on going all day, every day. So what about something like this, in which the buttons is actually white? It's not white. It's transparent. We could do that. Sure, we could. Let me duplicate this, and it turns out that we could also do this with red, and the red one would actually probably look better. It does, because it has more contrast against the white. For now, I know that this won't necessarily be in white all the time. Maybe it will, but for now, not too bad. Seems like a nice departure from something so square such as this. Again, this is very energetic though. This is more like nicely, nice and friendly. I have this on the Webmaker app, by the way, this sort of style I have it on the Webmaker app. And then, you know, once you start playing with something like this, then we can do the exact same treatments on the other ones. We can start adding a little bit of a border, a little bit of a darker border. There we go, a little bit of darker border to help the button in demarcating itself against the background that it's on, right? That would be not too bad. One thing that I haven't started looking at is what if we had sort of a button like this. And this was different. This wasn't white. We've never addressed that, have we? What if this was this? And then what if the red was the same? You know, what if the red also was not white, but man, my color selection is so off today. It's crazy. There we go. What if it wasn't, but if it was something like that? Not too bad at all, right? Robert is saying so many buttons. How could we even pick? Well, yeah, that's that's usually what happens when a designer tackles any project. To be honest with you, I'd be honest. Like, I've changed button styles midway through a project just because, you know, I actually, a true story, for Webmaker, we started with something that was more akin to something like this. It was a little bit different, but this rounded borders with like a nice shadow. And then we moved from this to something like this because it was more friendly. I saw it as more friendly, and it actually looked quite good in the UI. So that's the thing. Okay, so next week I'm going to wrap it up. Next week, what we're going to do is we're going to just maybe very briefly wrap this whole partnership with Write With Me, which has been so fun so far. It's been really, really fun. Design Love of the Week. This is actually very important for all of us that had an interest in type. This is handpicked types, handpicked fonts from Google Fonts. So take a look at this. This is Play for Display and Fauna 1 playing together. This is Fugas, AudioScript, and Monda regular playing together. So this is Megrim. We've seen this. It didn't work for us, but Megrim and Roboto as a copy. So take a look at this. This is a beautiful, beautiful website in which people contributed their font pairings and made like a nice design with it. It is absolutely gorgeous. Take a look at it. That is the Design Love of the Week. Music That Got Moving was a playlist initially created by Trent Walton, a very, very famous designer. Now it's everyone has done it. Everyone has contributed. Sorry, quote no quote today for the second week in a row. I'm so sorry. You know, preparing this took me a little bit of time, so sorry about that. There are 3 very important links as well to help you choose fonts and to help you sort of get a little bit more knowledgeable as to how to choose a font pairing, etc., etc. So take a look at that. Whew, that is it. I will let you know what the reactions to all these buttons were, and hopefully which ones are the winners. But I will let you know, and I will also let you know with this one as well. These 3 nice contenders. Look, this, we've done this in 2 hours. Wow, wow, this is amazing. So thank you so much for being with me. I will see you next week, and you will see a very nice update to this. All right?